I'm doing my part. Are you? Join the mobile infantry and help save the world. And remember, service guarantees citizenship. Would you like to know more? I have a full-size Morita rifle that I've used in a couple of fan films. This is a stunt version that actually was made for the movie Starship Troopers. It's cast out of foam rubber, which means that if you drop it, it won't break, but it's really, really heavy. But I wanted to make the carbine version, which looks pretty much just like this from here on back, except instead of this front part with the grenade launcher, it just has a short little barrel. It's the rifle that Lieutenant Radjak was carrying, so I wanted to do that. And what I decided to make it out of was foam board, which you can get in any Walmart, Kmart, any craft store will have it. It's basically two pieces of paper with a sheet of foam in between that makes it stiff, so it doesn't bend and flop around like regular foamy does. But to make a lot of the greavies, I did use a part of a roll of plain old regular craft foam, which again you can get at any craft store, or Walmart probably has it. So this is what I ended up with. Now the way I made it is simple in principle, but it takes a fair amount of work, and you have to be pretty accurate with it, or else things will come out looking uneven and not very good. So the way I made it was to take my real Morita from the movie and lay it down on a piece of foam board and trace the outline all the way around. And then I flipped it over, and again I made another one that I traced the outline all the way around. And that gave me the two halves for my rifle. For the grip, I found a toy gun just in a toy store and cut the handle, the trigger, and the front part off. And I wanted to make the thickness a little bit wider than the handle so that I could just glue the handle right on when I was ready to assemble everything. So what I did was take the two halves of the rifle that I made out of foam board and put more pieces of foam board in between them all the way around the outline, and then took part of the guts from the toy gun and put them in between the two pieces to make this firing mechanism inside here, so that ended up looking pretty good. Then I glued the two halves together, and that gave me the basic outline for the gun. So once I had the basic assembly, I started making all these greebly plates and little things and all these little doodads all over the place, and I had to fashion a magazine, and I did that all with craft foam. I just cut pieces out and glued them on. Once I had everything assembled, then I had to take joint compound and fill in all the little gaps along all the seams, and then once that dried, I sanded everything smooth and then primered it and painted it, and finished it off by taking a short piece of PVC pipe and a coupling and glued that on the front to make my barrel. So it was cheap, it was not very difficult to make. This particular design is pretty easy to do because it's really, really boxy, so there aren't a whole lot of curves or complicated shapes that you have to make. It's mostly just straight lines. So it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So let's see how it works. Kill them all!